Hey guys, welcome to Golf Ball Addict, back here with another golf ball review. This time I have, of course, the MaxFli Tour and MaxFli Tour X golf ball available exclusively through Dick's Sporting Goods. So MaxFli, they've kind of been all over the years. They've kind of bounced around. I think at one point TaylorMade owned them for a little bit, and for a number of years they were known as a two-piece hard rock top flight kind of ball, a junk ball you buy at Walmart, and you just kind of hit them into the water if you have a lot of water in front of you. And, that's really all they were known as. I've never given them any respect, really. And, over the last couple of years, Dick's Sporting Goods, of course, bought them out. And now, of course, they're coming out with Tour golf balls, and they're claiming that they, have all the same qualities as Tour golf balls, like most companies do, but at an interesting price point. So first of all, they're $34.99 a dozen if you buy one of them. However, most of the time, Dick's runs a twofer where you actually get two of them for $50. So I was actually able to get two of them. I mixed and matched, did an X, did a regular Tour. And at $25 a dozen, that's a pretty significant deal, especially for a Tour ball if it performs. So that's what we're going to look at. So like I said, yeah, I mean, you can get these golf balls for $34.99 a dozen if you buy one of them. But most of the time, I mean, every other week it feels like, Dick's is running a deal where you actually get them two for $50. And $25 a dozen is a significant price drop on just buying two of them. It's actually a very good bulk discount. It's something that I kind of talked about on my last review with the Quantix ball review that I would like to see from it. You go from 35 a dozen to 25 just from buying two boxes. That's a pretty significant deal. So if it holds up, it could be the ball I'm playing. All right, so design-wise, there's not much to it. You've got, your basic MaxFli logo. It's got a big black dot in the middle. Logo design's pretty basic. It doesn't look bad, though. It looks very modern. Most golf balls are going with a pretty simplistic design nowadays. If you look on the side, it's got very nice, italicized, bold lettering. One says Tour CG, the other one says Tour X CG, and it's got almost like a crash dummy symbol in there. That's kind of neat. It's always nice to see little designs in there. But it's big and bold, and what I like is that a lot of companies do it really small. It's hard to line up. I have zero issues lining this golf ball up. It's very big and bold. When you put it down, you can see the line perfectly. It's easy to line up. I really enjoy having it there. Honestly, it's a pretty well designed. I mean, nothing too crazy. I'd like to see some pics. They do offer the golf balls in a couple different colors, though. So first of all, they offer it in both your normal urethane cover, and then they also offer it in a matte white if you're like a guy who likes to play the matte, and they also offer it in a matte green, which is very bright, very vivid if you like to play more of a funky color. And then they do offer it in a yellow that has the urethane cover also, so you can still get the whole performance. Some people believe that the matte doesn't hold a green as well, so if you still like it to hold a green, you're worried about that, you can play it in a yellow also. So they do have some good variety there. And then you can also get them on Dick's website with customization for no additional charge, which is nice too. So if you're not needing them right now and you still want to do the 2 for 50 or the 1 for 35, you can get free personalization on them and they'll send them right to your house. What is MaxFli saying about this golf ball? Well, they say a couple things. One, they claim that they have a new patented design here, which is called the center of gravity on the side there. That was the CG you saw. What it basically entails is that when you put your ball on the tee for the driver, you actually line it up with your target, and it promotes a center of gravity shift the way they've designed it to get you optimal flight and optimal distance. And, it has been proven. I don't have the technology to prove that, but based on other reviews I've seen and, using robot testing, you do get about 2 to 3 yards extra if you actually line it up, and it goes pretty straight if you line it up. I have very few issues with this ball going left or right if I actually center it. I don't know if it's actually rules appropriate for PGA play. I don't think it is. I haven't seen anything as far as on the box or on the website, and that could be why. It might actually offer a little bit of an advantage there. But if you're just playing on the course, no one has to know that. And if it gives you an advantage, then no one's going to know. So user reviews. User reviews are actually pretty good on this golf ball, and most people are saying the exact same thing, which is, they were looking for a golf ball that costs a little less than, your Pro V1 and your TP5. They didn't expect the same performance, but, they were willing to spend a little less because they wanted a tour ball that was at least close, but didn't hurt every time they hit one into the woods. And what most people were finding out is that they were getting a golf ball that performed pretty much close to the same, or a lot of them actually said they got better performance, and they paid way significantly less. Okay, so off the putter, both golf balls, these golf balls are not traditional like your normal Tour and Tour X. Like your Callaway Chrome and Chrome X, or TP5 and TP5X, excuse me. They're a little different. They are softer. They do feel softer. The Tour is extremely soft. It's extremely spongy, almost the marshmallow effect. So it was honestly too soft for me. If you're someone that does like that softness though, like super soft, like a Callaway super soft type of feel, that's going to be the Tour for you. And off the putter, that's how it honestly felt. Off the putter, it was very squishy, very not a lot of feedback, not a lot of response. The Tour X is very soft as well. It almost feels like it has a sponge effect off of the putter. You know, it almost like boings off there a little bit, which is nice because I don't like to have to putt as hard a lot. I like to kind of jump off the putter. The X did do that for me. The Tour, not so much. It wasn't a huge difference, but I definitely felt that here, and it offered a little bit of feedback, so when I did miss putt it, I felt it. So the X actually feels like more of your Tour ball, like your Pro V1 and your TP5 or something like that. It actually, instead of usually the X is a lot firmer, harder, this one actually, it's almost like downshifted a little bit to where the Tour feels like something you would get from a budget ball, and the MaxFli has like the normal feel, or the X, excuse me, has like the normal feel as far as a regular Tour ball. Chip around the green, both balls hold up extremely well. The X doesn't hold up quite as well. It's darn close. We're talking maybe, you know, if you're chipping around the green, maybe a half foot roll, more of roll compared to the regular Tour. But both balls hold up really well as far as chipping. In fact, I was actually putting them side by side next to the Pro V1 I had, and the Pro V1 was getting a lot more roll. So if you're someone who likes that immediate checkup, even off the green, the side of the green, the fringe, it's one of the better golf balls I've actually tested. So I'm very impressed with that. And with the Tour being so soft, it's almost an immediate stop. If you hit it right and you get the backspin, I mean, it is almost a dead stop, even from off the green, which was really nice. I was actually playing on really firm greens, and I was able to get them to stop too, which was really great. Honestly, they perform like, so far, like any other Tour ball. From the 50 yard, it's interesting. From the 50 yard, you get kind of a reversal here. The MaxFli Tour starts to click a little bit because you're not compressing it all the way. So the Tour, even though it's softer, has a little bit of a click. Goes in the air, but once it hits the green, it goes right back to being soft. It almost immediately stops. I'm getting a lot of backspin as far as like with my 60-degree wedge. 54, I was getting pretty much a bounce once. I actually did get it to come back on the 54 once, so it does have a good amount of spin. And I watched a video. There's another video. I'll put the link in the down below where two guys from TGX, I think it's called, they actually tested it full strength, and they actually were able to get over 10,000 RPMs with their wedges from both these golf balls, which is right on par with the Pro V1. So as far as the 50-yard pitch, they both stop. And actually, it's funny. I was talking about how the Tour starts to click. It's the opposite for the X. The X actually has kind of that sponge effect that I talked about with the putter. It has it from a 50-yard where it kind of jumps off the club, but it feels more soft. You don't feel the feedback as much. As far as full wedges, that's when the golf balls go back to their normal, normal regimens. The Tour feels extremely soft. There's very minimal feedback. It's got a little bit of a marshmallow effect, probably like a 4 out of 5 softness. It's super soft. But again, like I said, in that other video I watched, they're able to get over 10,000 RPM spin. So once you start hitting full shots with these golf balls, you're not going to have any issue. They're going to spin. With the pitching wedge, I was getting an immediate stop from about 125 yards out. You can't ask for much more than that. The sand wedge, I was getting maybe a bounce or two and then an immediate stop. And then with the 60-degree, it was almost coming back at me every single time. So from full shots, lots of spin there, lots of height. It's funny, they actually say that the MaxFli X goes a little bit higher. I didn't notice that. It could be because I use game improvement irons. But they go really high in the air, and when they hit the green, they come back at you. So super amount of spin there. If you don't like a lot of backspin, maybe they're not for you because this does have a torque quality. But if you're someone who wants that control, you've got them with either of these golf balls. They perform just fine. High and mid irons both perform extremely well, whether it's 9-iron, 5-iron. Again, I hit my 5-iron roughly about 170, 180. I hit my 9-iron roughly about 135. Honestly, it's pretty funny. I actually hit the MaxFli X, which has a little bit less spin than the regular Tour. I hit it with a 5-iron from 190 yards yesterday and stuck the green. The greens were so soft that it hit the green, and it only ended up a foot away from where my divot was, and that's with a 5-iron. So it doesn't get much better than that when it comes to spin. So if you're worried about it not hit spinning with your low irons like a 4 or 5, trust me, it will. It's still going to stick to green. When I played on firmer greens with them, I will admit there was a little more roll, and a couple of them did roll off the green, but that's a firmer green. If you're someone who plays like more on a budget course, where they don't have those soft greens, with a 5-iron, it's going to be tough to stick any green, but you're not going to get anything closer as far as what these offered. Hybrids, the golf balls maintain their same feel with a hybrid, honestly, which is really nice. Consistency is key when it comes to a golf ball. The Tour X actually off a hybrid still had that very minimal click. It offered great feedback. If I hit it off the toe, it was an immediate crap that came out of my mouth because I knew, which is nice. I like that feedback. With the Tour, it was very spongy. I could still kind of tell, but it has so much forgiveness in it because it's so soft that I couldn't tell. If you like a soft golf ball on that, again, the Tour is for you. But off the hybrid, it really kept the same feel as it did with the long irons and the short irons, which was nice. They come off the hybrids extremely hot, and honestly, they're both very, very, very forgiving. Even on mishits with the hybrid, the Tour really doesn't do much of anything. The side spin on a Tour is very, very, very minimal, but the side spin on the X is a little bit more because it's firmer. If I did mishit it with my hybrid, it would go off into the rough. And of course, the long stick, the driver, I use both of these golf balls pretty extensively. When you hit the MaxFli Tour off the driver, I couldn't really, there wasn't a lot of feedback. I mean, again, it's kept the same thing the whole way through. When you're compressing this golf ball up against the driver, it squishes. It still goes a long way. It still goes just as far as the X. I didn't see any difference whatsoever as far as distance with a 95-mile-an-hour swing speed. They both went the same. Honestly, they battled it out every hole. It just depended on how good I hit it. But again, same thing like I said with the hybrids. You know, the Tour, very minimal side spin. If you hit it straight, it goes straight. If you hit a little bit of a slice on it, most of the time it was still in the fairway for me. So a lot of forgiveness with the Tour for sure. The Tour X honestly had a ton of forgiveness too. There was a couple times I mishit it right off the toe, should have sliced God knows where 2-3 fairways over, but it actually only sliced over just far enough to go in the sand or a fairway bunker or even just like right along the fence line. So I was impressed with that because with most X golf balls like the Callaway, Chrome X, which I used for a while, when you mishit like that, it's gone. It's 2-3 fairways over. It's completely gone because it's designed to be able to go left or right if you need it to. And if you're someone who's not talented enough to really do that whenever you want to, it ends up being out of bounds, put another ball down, but not with either of these balls. So durability, both these balls hold up extremely well, which is great. MaxFli's finally found a way to, I don't think they've ever had a problem with durability because they used to be rocks and you hit them and they would last forever, really, if you made them that long. But with the Tour ball and them being this soft, honestly, I've banged them into some trees to see. I've hit them off a couple car paths like I like to do. I like to bounce them around just for fun. Very minimal scuffs. I actually played a whole round yesterday with the X and I loved it. And there wasn't even a scuff on it. I mean, a full 18 with no scuff is pretty impressive. So I would say probably a 4 out of 5 on durability. Honestly, it doesn't get too much better than that, especially for a budget ball. Because like I've said in the past, usually when you go budget ball, usually you have to sacrifice durability, but not with these golf balls. They both hold up extremely well. As far as the value for price goes, I'm not sure it gets better than this, to be completely honest with you. $25 a dozen if you buy 2 of them is extremely low for the quality you are getting. I mentioned earlier the video from the guys at TGX. Every test they ran with a guy who hits the ball 300 yards, 115-mile-an-hour swing was pretty much neck and neck with the Pro V1. And the fact that you can get it at half the price, not most half the price, but half the price as those golf balls is highly impressive. And honestly, is probably the ball I'm going to play until further notice. So who is this golf ball for? Well, this golf ball is for anyone who wants a Pro V1 but doesn't want to pay $50 a dozen for them, because essentially that's what this is. It's been tested against the Pro V1. It's been lab tested against it. The numbers are exactly the same, basically. I mean, you're talking very minimal difference. In a couple areas, honestly, the MaxFli beats the Pro V1. Overall, guys, the golf ball is mighty impressive, and like I said at the beginning with the user reviews, a lot of them were saying, I went in expecting an okay golf ball and I got an amazing golf ball, and I'm no different. Even after I read those reviews and I was expecting a good golf ball, the amount of performance this golf ball or either of these golf balls will offer for the price that they are is incredible. And with all the features and different options, If you're someone who loves to have a great quality golf ball and you need the best performance, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, or you're just a value guy, or you're cheap like me, you cannot get better than this right now. I have not found a golf ball out there that offers a better value for what you're getting. So overall, try them. That's all I can say is try them. Order you a box right now and experience it. Once again, thanks guys for watching this review. Keep watching to keep saving.